Coach, if you just want to make a statement.
Yeah, guys, first of all, thanks for coming. Jamie, thanks for putting this together. John, thanks for doing what you've been doing to help the program. Today's an exciting day. You know, today's about the future of Penguin basketball. We're very, very excited about the class we're able to sign. You know, we had a lot of needs that we needed to fill. Obviously, we got here a little bit late, so we had a lot of work to do in a very, very short period of time. From our managers to our support staff, Kevin, Mark, Danny, to our 3 assistant coaches, to our president, to our athletic department. I thought it was a group effort once we got the kids on campus to sell the city of Youngstown and sell, most importantly, Youngstown State and our men's basketball program. So we're extremely excited about our future. But, you know, before we could get in and recruit those guys, we had to recruit our current players. I thought we did a tremendous job in the 30, 40 days that our current players were here on campus. We were able to work those guys out, able to build the relationships with those players, and we're really, really fortunate and happy that the 6 guys decided to come back. Anytime there's change, it's very difficult. New staff, new system. We had a few kids that decided to leave. That was a group decision, you know, based on what was best for the student athlete. But moving forward, we're really, really excited about the 8 newcomers that will be Penguins. So with that, questions on any of these guys?
When's the last time you had 8 recruits?
You know, we just left Chick-fil-A. We're eating as a staff, and Jamie handed me this sheet, and I kind of laughed. I said this would be the last time that that entire sheet will be filled up with names and some of the accomplishments of these kids. Really, it was probably, to answer your question, my first year at Fairmont State. You know, we had to revamp an entire roster. We went from, before we got there, they won 8 games. That first year we won 23. Very similar. We had to recruit a few of the current guys. And I think we ended up signing around 8 or 9, almost the same amount of guys. So we feel really, really fortunate that some of these guys were still around. We feel very, very fortunate that we got some of these guys. You know, I think it's a test to our staff, our camaraderie amongst our staff, our open communication. We watched a lot of video. There was a lot of sleepless nights over at the courtyard, you know, where we're currently living still. So, you know, a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of work. It's not a one-man show with Coach Calhoun. It's an entire organization and a vision that we're trying to sell here.
How do you get players like a Tyree Robinson, Nashville Hannah, because they're offered like Cincinnati, Colorado State? How do you wriggle them away from those opportunities here?
Well, you know, with Nas, he used to come to our camps at West Virginia as a 9th grader. Then when I got the Fairmont State job, he came to our camps when I was the head coach at Fairmont State. So I've known Nas for a very, very long period of time. And I think you guys are all well aware of his accolades in the classroom. So Nas is very, very dead set on becoming an engineer. Our engineering program here at Youngstown State is one of the best in our region, one of the best in the country. So that sold Nas once we got him here. The engineering department did a tremendous job of selling their product and selling their school. And then with Tyree, Coach Steinberg had been recruiting him with his time at Kent State. You know, Tyree was supposed to go to New Mexico State. And as we're seeing the landscape of college basketball, there's a lot of coaching changes, John, every year. So we got very, very fortunate. There was a coaching change. New Mexico State's coach went to New Mexico, and we were able to get involved. You know, recruiting is about relationships, prior relationships. It's about relationships once you get them here. And I've said all along, I think this is a sleeping giant. I think we have a campus, we have facilities, we have leadership. We play in a great conference. You know, the landscape of our conference obviously has changed, but I think it's a pretty good sell. You know, I think the Youngstown State and the city is a really good sell for these recruits.
What's the process and how different is it recruiting the players that you already have you inherited? I mean, what's that process like?
You know, the biggest thing, Charles, is you have to look at your current roster, right? You have to figure out, okay, we've got Francisco at the point guard spot. Okay, we have Cam. We have Braun. You know, we have Devin, we have Ryan Strolla, we have Jeremiah. So you have to see what you have, and then not only are you recruiting for this year, but you're also recruiting, Charles, for the future. So we didn't feel like we needed a point guard in this class to play right away. So to be able to get a guy like Devin Morgan to sit him out, to learn and learn our system for a year, play against Francisco every single day, those two push each other. It's a lot of it's like a puzzle. You've got to kind of put the puzzle together. And I felt like we did a great job of putting the puzzle together. The other side of recruiting is fit, right? Style of play. Some players may be really good up the road at Cleveland State, where they may not be so good for us here at Youngstown State because of coaching philosophies, different styles of play. So I look for a couple of things in a recruit. Number one, the guy I worked for, Coach Huggins, taught me this a long time ago. You want guys that win, right? You want guys that are really, really competitive, whether we're playing Nerf football or whatever we're doing. We want guys to compete. So the first thing is when I watch a guy, they got to be able to compete. You know, the second thing is can they run and their skill set. I like guys that can pass, catch, shoot. You know, all of our players on the floor are going to have the green light to shoot. We want to play very free-flowing. We want our bigs to be able to step out and not only go inside but also out. And then I think the third thing is it has to be a match. You know, not only for the coaching staff, we spend a lot of time with these guys. Basketball is so much different than most sports. We're year-round now. Right, our guys will come back here in 2 or 3 more weeks, and now the NCAA has allowed us to do some things in the summer. So I think both sides have to match. But I think the current guys on our roster, Charles, I think they're a perfect fit for Coach Calhoun's system. I look for Francisco to have a magnificent senior year. Cam, I've said for Cam the whole time, I like for him to lead the country in scoring. You know, I'd like for him to get 25 points a game, work a little bit on his three-point percentage. You know, he had a down shooting year last year compared to his sophomore year. I'd like for Devin and Jeremiah to make that next step. Bran Hartfield, the same thing. I look for a breakout year with Bran. He has all the abilities. He's a kid that's just going to get better and better. You know, he's 6'5", 6'6". Kevin did a tremendous job. I can remember sitting with Kevin at the state tournament recruiting Bran Hartfield. You know, he didn't have many offers. You know, he went to a great high school coached by one of my former teammates in college, had a lot of Division I guys. Bran was not really sought after. So sometimes I think people get caught up in the rankings. We get caught up more in the style and their competitive spirit.
Coach, how confident are you that some of these guys can come in and contribute to your team right away?
Well, they're going to have to. You know, this summer, when we build this thing this summer with not only, you know, our philosophy on the court, but establishing our culture, you know, whether that's in the weight room, whether that's in the training facility, whether that's out in the community, we've got to establish a culture of winning. And you win the day. You don't worry about the games right now. You worry about getting better each day. I'm very, very confident in their abilities because I think all these guys give us a little unique perspective. You know, you look at Alex Wilburn. He came from a junior college that won 50-something games in 2 years. So he's used to winning. You know, I think President Tressel said it the best. Winners win. They find a way to win. You know, we got to scrape. We got to claw. We've got to go into every game thinking we're going to win the game. But we have to prepare leading up to that point right now. And I feel really confident that these kids will come in with a little chip on their shoulder and be ready to work from day one.
Can you speak more to your weight program? What do you expect out of that, and how does that transfer to what you guys are doing here?
John, I think the weight program is very important. I think that's a great question. It establishes your culture of toughness. It establishes guys pushing one another. We've talked a lot about bringing in a nutritionist. We've talked about how that's changed. You know, you look at the top programs in the country, things are always changing. We've even talked about in our locker room developing a center to enhance the student athlete, whether that's, you know, shakes, whether that's things that can help our guys on a daily basis. You know, with the rules now, with the strength coach, he's almost become the head coach in the summertime. He's a guy that's going to spend a lot of time with our players, pushing them, building the chemistry, challenging them. It's going to be really, really crucial that we hit the ground running in that weight room. And I think we have one of the best weight rooms in the country. You know, that thing is state of the art. We have every piece of equipment that we need. We have the resources in that weight room to establish that culture.
I would imagine when you were recruiting some of these kids, not just the JUCO kids, but the high school kids, it was important to find guys that could help you immediately just based on your philosophy and how deep and how many players you want to run. So when you're looking at the high school kids, you're looking at tape, are you thinking, hey, this kid's going to play and we need him to help immediately?
Absolutely. You know, sports and in life in general is about instant results, right? We're all Cleveland Cavs fans. We went from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows the other day, right? LeBron James was the greatest player in the world for really 3 series, right? They were 10-0. He has one bad game, and you know, I'm the biggest LeBron fan there is. You see all my retweets and tweeting about LeBron. It's about what have you done for me now, unfortunately. But we wanted to build this and build it the right way. We had to find a mixture of high school guys, junior college guys, and maybe a transfer. I think we did it the right way. You know, we didn't load up all on junior college guys, all on high school guys. We really tried to find guys that fit the system because, as you said, we're going to play 11 guys. We are committed to playing that style. We're going to be full court pressure, nonstop, 40 minutes. And we're going to try to impose our will on people. So you have to have the bodies. You have to have the guys that can get up and down and can be conditioned, as John said, in the weight room. And that's what we wanted to do. So all these kids are going to have a chance to play right away because we play so many guys.
Can you speak to what recruiting is? I know you can't get specifics, but 18, 19, and beyond, and how do you approach that?
Well, the recruiting landscape has really changed. You know, now the new thing is, John, anytime you offer a kid within, you know, I think our ratio, I don't know, Kevin, Jason can, you know, we kind of have a running thing amongst our staff, inside joke. It'll take probably 2 minutes, I believe, to get on verbal commits, which is okay. Some coaches of the old school are against that. You know, this is the new school generation of highlight videos, of Twitter. They're visual learners. So a lot of the things we try to teach, whether it's in this room here, trying to building our culture, we do a lot of that stuff, a lot of videos. You know, we show highlight videos before the game. You know, we try to get our guys pumped up before the games. We do different things because that's how they're learning. But I do think it's changed. I think one of the things that we've tried to establish here is let's cover our home turf. So, you know, my support staff has done a tremendous job. They've been in this office working day and night on our team camp. So a chance to get 50 to 60 teams on our campus this summer. It's going to be probably the biggest camp we've ever had in the history of Youngstown State basketball. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to have a chance to get 500, 600 kids on our campus for one day. One-day shootout. They're going to see the rec center. They're going to be able to walk around on campus. They're going to be able to see the Beagley Center. That's how you get excitement. That's how you get players. When you get them on your campus, what we have found, our numbers have been really, really good to landing these guys.
How excited are you just to have these guys on campus so that you can practice and have enough guys to run what you want to run, you know, just in practice alone?
Well, I'll tell you this. I took a vacation last week. My wife was actually shocked that I agreed to it, but you know, I just needed to recharge the battery. I needed to hit the restart button. You know, I hadn't seen my family really consistently since our run at Fairmont State. You know, you're on those runs. It's game planning. It's preparation. You're going full go. Since we've gotten here, it's been full go. I think the beautiful thing is going to be when these freshmen report June 8th and 9th, they're here, we're all in the one room. There's no more text messages. We don't have to track them down. They're here on campus. They get to start taking classes. They get acclimated to Youngstown State. We get acclimated to them. And it's going to be exciting. You know, I want all you guys to come. You know, the doors are open for you guys to come to practice. We want you at practice. We want you around these kids to see it. You know, I think it's got to be a community effort from, you know, not only our team, our players, our fans, but the media. You know, we want you guys to be a part of this run because I think it could be a really, really special thing once these guys get their feet underneath them, get here, get acclimated. They're all good kids. You know, you look at Nas Bohannon, 3.9, Michael Akuchi, 4.2. You know, we're recruiting not only really good players, but really good student athletes. You know, and that's what drives a winning organization. You have to be well-rounded, but I'm ready to go. You know, I'm very, very excited to be the coach here and get these kids here.